Hello everyone, this is James Shore with another test-driven development video. I have here with me this week Roy Oshrove, and we are at the Öredev conference in Malmo, Sweden. It's a real pleasure to be pairing with you, Roy. I'm glad you can make it.
It is a pleasure and an honor.
All right. So when we left off, this is we've been trying to get do test-driven development of a table that will have rows with alternating colors.
And we were in the middle of a refactoring, and then we were hedging our bets and trying to see if the refactoring would actually make the test pass.
Right, and it didn't.
It did not.
Yeah, so I can put this back, and the stuff that I got out of the spike works, and the stuff that we wrote that I thought was failing because of not actually showing the frame, which you thought I was wrong on, well, you were correct, because we're showing the frame and we're still getting the exact same error we got before.
I've never been so happy to be correct. What if let's remove the making it visible and see that it still passes with the old model. Let's verify our assumptions.
That would be interesting.
First, let's see it pass so that we know that it.
Oh yeah,
no,
because
you didn't change it back.
I didn't change this back. Okay. So you think that we don't need this anymore. Let me just make sure. I get very paranoid.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
So you think we don't need to do this?
And the opposite in the teardown.
Right. Oh, actually, the frame set visible. We've got some weirdness here in that the set visible is happening inside of get new table.
So.
It's not symmetric. Okay, so we don't need to do that.
Let's get rid of the whole frame.
That would be interesting. That would be really cool if we could do that. That would make me happy for sure. So there, the frame's gone.
If you're happy, I'm happy. Oh yeah.
No, null pointer exception.
Wah, wah.
Oh, but that's just because of the way we're doing the table.
Okay, I don't get it.
We're actually pulling the table out of...
okay, it's the way we're getting the information.
Yeah, so what we could do instead is we could just say jtable table equals new alternating.
Yeah, which is exactly the original way. So the problem is in the information.
So this, if this works, I'll be very happy. Oh, look at that.
Nailed it.
Awesome. So, and we're actually looking at the cell renders. That is cool. That is really cool. So we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about that or that
Go away,
or that or that. And this is just that.
Yep.
Which is actually at this point a pointless method.
No, it's not pointless. One of the things that I like to do is to use a factory, because if tomorrow we want to use or we create our own constructor, we don't have to change all the tests.
Okay, yeah, I'll buy that.
And it's still readable. Now let's try to reduce the amount of data until we see a failure.
Okay, I am going to move this. I like to have the helper methods at the bottom of the code.
No problem.
Class. So let me just make sure. I mean, I'd be really surprised if that broke anything. You know what? And before we reduce further, I wonder if this will solve our little problem of things stalling.
Of course.
Oh, look at that.
I like to be sure, even when I'm not.
That looks pretty good. We're not seeing that, whatever that little error was, it seems to have gone away.
What happened is that the form kept visible, and then sometimes it wouldn't become invisible.
Yeah, well, it's more than that. Swing actually spawns extra threads.
Oh, of course.
So there was probably a thread that wasn't dying, but now that we're not doing that...
now we can actually say we're doing unit testing again,
yeah.
I think.
Well, or something. Pretty
close. It is UI
to
testing, but a unit test, in a way, because it's done in memory.
And at least we're not popping anything onto the screen.
Yep.
I mean... That was one of the things that always bugged me about UI testing, was having the stuff pop up. And that also would make it very slow. And look how fast this is running now. It used to run at 1.3 seconds. Now it's running in, way less time. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Okay, let's try to remove some rows, see what happens.
Okay, so we don't need any of these right now.
Hopefully, let's see. Maybe you need 2 rows at least. Okay, that's
so
good.
We don't need that. I think the problem was actually the way... Maybe doing this null was the problem.
Let's see if we can create the same row we did in the original test with just an empty cell.
Just like this.
Yep. If this still passes, we know that's not the problem.
Okay, so we'll have to tell it that there's only one
Perfect.
column.
Well, we did do 2 changes here, but you
Yeah.
know what? It works.
Okay, so now...
So the problem is with the null column, probably.
Or, this is just an entirely different way of instantiating the table model.
Interesting. I didn't think about it that way.
What if we did that? That's interesting.
Why are you doing that, though?
Just
simplify?
Just simplifying, yeah. Not wanting to say the number of columns twice effectively.
Okay, so let's... do we know what columns we have right now in the get new table? We don't have any columns, right?
We don't have any columns now.
So that's a very simple table. Okay, so I like this test. I want to refactor getting the background of a cell.
Okay. How do you want to refactor?
So the three.
Do you want to pull
three
this
lines?
out
Yeah.
into its own method?
Yeah, that takes the cell location that you want.
Get cell background. So if it's going to take the cell location,
It's a 0, 0, 1.
yeah, I'll factor that out.
Don't you refactor it after you extract?
If I did it, this will. I mean, you could do it either way. Doing it this way means that I won't have to add the parameters into the method.
Isn't there like there should be a refactoring for that, like extract parameter? If there isn't, that's not.
I'm sure there is. I just
Okay.
this is a stylistic issue. Okay, so get cell background.
I think so.
Okay. And then we'll need to change the parameter order.
Why do you need to send it a row at all? Oh yeah, it's just the row 0.
Yeah, row 0.
Actually, I would send in 0 and 0 because it's very readable to say get me the 0, 0 cell.
Well, that was the next step.
Hold on.
Like
So
that?
get cell background. And can we move the table to be the first parameter?
Yeah.
The wonders of modern technique.
Isn't it amazing? I did some work in Ruby, and
Everything passes, by the way.
yeah, and not having these sort of basic refactorings drove me crazy.
Actually, RubyMine just came out and
Really?
works on Linux and Apple.
And it does this sort of stuff?
It does a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's
That's
the same company that did IntelliJ. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, JetBrains then.
yeah,
They are an awesome company.
yeah,
They really
they
impress
do
me.
the same stuff for Windows developers who didn't know any better.
Yeah.
That's
there's some things that I wouldn't have even thought were possible in Ruby, and this level of refactoring would be one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So let's see the test. Table with just one cell. Cell uses default background color. The only thing that I might change again is that, say, that color white, I would actually put it
So
in
now you
values
wanna-
as the default.
now we want to go back to the default. Okay, so you're happy with these tests? These are good now?
Yeah, I think this is a good test now.
Okay. So let me take a second look at it. I wish that this was a little cleaner. What I really want to do is just pass in, a lump of data saying this is our table data. But I'm okay with this.
I can
deal with
extract
this.
it into a factory method that says create a single row table model or a single cell table
Let's
model.
wait until we see another test and see what that tells us, because
I agree that it's not nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice it even.
So let's see. We've got a table. Get new table for the table model. Get the cell background. So I'm going to put those together. Okay. Yeah, I think we're ready to move on. So let's do. You wanted to do the default, right?
Mm-hmm. Assuming that we can change the default. Can we? Is this part of the functionality we want to test for? Do you want to create a functionality where the user can decide the default? If not, we don't need to change it. We just need to rename it to variable that says this is the default.
Well, I think we want the table, the alternating row table, to use its own background color.
Sure.
So let's. I know right now it's not. So let's do that at least.
Okay. So
So-
that should fail.
And it does.
Mm-hmm.
So now we can modify our production code.
Yep.
And the way to do that, I'm not sure. Let's see.
That's probably in the constructor somewhere. It's probably there's like a setter.
Yeah, it probably is a setter because Java loves set methods.
Set
That-
background.
That is probably it. So let's try that.
Let's see.
That should work.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yep. The heads are hedged.
There we go.
Ta-da!
Okay, so now I'm going to change that back to white because the green.
Whatever. What? Don't you? We should do it red, green, and then yellow or something.
Red, green. Okay, so now you mentioned something about the user changing. So I have no plans at this time
No problem. Let's move on.
making this user changeable.
So what makes sense to me now is to actually create the next set that says that the next row has a different background color.
Yes.
Not
So before we do that, I want to rename this because it's not the default. It is just the background color.
that always bugged me, by the way, about APIs that have alternating stuff, because when there is an alternation, then the other one should be the default.
Okay, if you see it that way, so the default and the alternating is how you see it?
I think so. Either the standard or the default. I agree.
Let's call it standard,
Okay.
because default to me connotates something that can be changed,
Okay.
and I don't think this can be, at this point in time, can't be changed. Okay, so yeah, let's move on.
Okay, so I would basically write kind of the same test. Let's see, I'm actually going to do this. Is there a way to duplicate?
Sure.
How?
Oh, Apple C?
Apple C, Apple V?
Yeah.
That's not duplication, that's copy pasting.
So for what's
example,
the difference?
In IntelliJ, for example, you can do the Control D, and then it would duplicate without copy.
Oh.
Just copying. You're just duplicating it, but you still have the stuff in your clipboard. Never mind.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's just a very simple way to duplicate stuff. Never mind. I'll show you. You know, we can do.
I
like
don't know
the
if
reverse.
I don't approve of a language of an IDE that makes it easier to cut and paste code.
No, duplicate test.
Oh, duplicate test.
Let's see. Okay, so table with 2 cells. 2 cells. Actually, 2 rows. Cell on second row uses alternating.
Oh, and while you're at it, change that default background color in the first test to standard background color.
To standard. Standard. Okay, so now we need to change this to this model too. Is this the amount of rows?
That's the number of columns.
Columns. So that's the number of rows?
No, that's the number of rows to start with, and then we just add to that.
Okay, so how do I create 2 rows in this model?
Duplicate, cut and paste.
Oh, like okay.
That line right there.
Okay, I don't want to press home, so
You
I'm
want
just
to
gonna
press, yeah, well,
hold on.
that'll do it.
Okay, I think that's the simplest.
Yeah, that works.
And then get new table, color of actual color.
So now we just want to say cell background for table row 1, cell 0.
Yeah. Row 1. And what we want to say here is the alternating. Alternate. Is it alternate? Alternating.
You probably need another E, but other than that, I like alternate better than alternating.
Alternate. Okay. This is how I would write this test.
All right.
Make sense?
You want me to make this pass?
Please.
Okay. Let's do it. So
Let's do it.
yeah. We'll need that constant, which
You have 50 seconds left. Go.
faster, faster, faster. There's our green again. Let's make it blue. How about pink?
Whatever.
Pink make you happy?
Yeah.
And there's some sort of issue here. What's this complaining about? Oh, just garbage.
Serial version UID?
I don't even know what that is.
That's always comforting to hear from a fellow developer.
It's something they added to Java before or after I was doing a lot of work in it, so I don't really understand what it is. Okay, so that should fail with the wrong color, and it does. So that's a great place for us to stop. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks again to my guest, Roy Oshrove. Really enjoyed having you here, and I look forward to doing some more. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.